I have been algo trading for over a decade, but let's imagine that I would start from scratch without any previous experience. I will show you exactly how I would do it, saving you months of headaches that I had myself when I started. Let's start with the end results. This is what algo trading looks like in action. Right now I have an algo trading automatically for me. It's buying, it's selling, it's managing risk, all without me lifting a finger. The algorithm consists of 25 lines of code. It's running on an online platform, completely in the cloud, which means that I don't even have to have my computer running. My bet is that you have thought about algo trading before. You might have already even tried it. It's not uncommon that people get stuck. So what people usually do wrong are things like learning a new programming language, like Python. Learning Python. Or they try to hunt down data sources to test their algorithms on. Finding data. Or they try to do some complex tech setup. Let me turn off the lights here. So looking at this list, it's not a surprise to me that people get stuck. I've been there myself 10 years ago, and there's actually another way to do it. So this is what you have done before. And if I were to start in 2025 from scratch, I would instead do this. I would pick the simplest available trading platform that includes the tech setup, that includes the data, and that doesn't require any advanced programming. So, simple trading platform. Secondly, I would start 10 different algos with demo money. So I would go on a hunt on the internet to find 10 freely available algos and start them. Start 10 algos in demo. And only as the last and third step would I start coding my own algos. Start coding. So why would I start algos that I hadn't made myself? Well, because it's like learning to drive by seeing someone else do it. You will immediately see how an algo behaves, and that will clear away some big mental barriers. And it will get you from nothing to an algo trader within 30 minutes instead of 30 days. So you're getting immediate experience and real momentum. Let's go through these steps quickly. Picking a simple trading platform. There are a lot of trading platforms out there, but make sure that you pick a beginner-friendly one. Also, make sure that it requires minimal coding, that the data is included, and that it's not connected with any complicated tech setup. You can use any trading platform that you prefer, but if you would like to use the one that I trust and the only one that I use, there's a link to the trading platform in the description of this video. It's an affiliate link, so if you click it, it will help support the channel. It will cost you nothing extra, and it will help me to continue making videos like this. The name of the platform is ProRealTime. ProRealTime handles backtesting, it handles coding, and it handles the trading all in one place with all data included. It takes 2 minutes to install, and once you have done that, you can start your algos and it will run automatically in the cloud server without your computer running. I will go into detail on how to set it up later in the video. Okay, so the second step, starting 10 algos in demo. This is the biggest shortcut that you can take in algo trading. It will allow you to start seeing trades from day one, and you shouldn't underestimate how drastically that will remove some mental barriers that many people have towards algo trading. And why so many? Why 10? Because you should, as an algo trader, always have a large number of algos in test. It's only after a substantial amount of time in test with good results that you actually should start an algo live. And algo trading is truly a numbers game where the majority of your algos, even my algos, will not perform during this demo period and therefore will be trashed. So by launching a large number of algos already from day one, you immediately establish an effective workflow for algo development, which is to continuously build new algos, put them in demo, and the ones that perform well, those are the algos that you start. So you need to find a large number of algos, and the critical question to be answered is, how has this algo that I'm looking at performed since it was released? Forget backtests, they can be misleading. You need real verifiable results. So find testimonials, ask around, ask questions, find the release date. If the algos you find show bad results since they were released, then you don't even have to bother starting them in demo. Just continue the search for the next algo. Once you have launched a large number of algos in demo, then you can start coding your own. With trading platforms like ProRealTime, advanced coding skills aren't required. And as you did the previous steps here, you are already set up and you can already see the end result in front of you. I would recommend, as you start coding, to start by making changes to an already existing algo. Try to make improvements, add a filter, add an indicator or whatever, but start from what already works and build out of that. It's a great way to get started quickly. So let's get practical. So this is how I would act if I started algo trading from scratch in 2025. If you just wanted the introduction and the bullet points, then I can say goodbye to you now. But if you are committed to starting algo trading this time, then now is where you grab a notebook, open up an internet browser and start listening carefully. In the rest of the video, I will walk you through these steps: installing ProRealTime, starting some algos, and coding some of your own algos. In ProRealTime, you will build, backtest, and run your trading algorithm all in one platform. It's offered by two different brokers, IG and IB. I personally use IG. You can register for an IG account by following the link in the description. Again, it's an affiliate link. So when you're on IG's website, click Create Live Account in the top right corner. Fill in your details and select your account type. There are a number of different ones like CFD, SpreadBet, or IBKR. All of them work just fine. I generally recommend CFD accounts, but for tax reasons, some might prefer other account types. After submitting your details, you will have to complete a short questionnaire about your previous trading experience. And after that, IG usually approves your account within a few hours. Once you are approved, log into your pages on IG.com, go to the Settings tab, go to ProRealTime, and activate ProRealTime for your account. Also activate it for your demo account here. A demo account is simply an account with demo money on it, so that you can trade without risking any of your real money. ProRealTime is free if you make a couple of trades per month. If you don't make any trades, it will cost you 25 euros per month. Once you have activated ProRealTime, return to the dashboard, click the small arrow and select Open ProRealTime. Now you click Install ProRealTime. So the first time you start ProRealTime, it will open up a bunch of different trading windows. Close them all down except this main window. Here's where you search for instruments, stocks, indexes, etc. Let's search for SP500, and in IG it's called USA 500. When clicking that, it opens up a chart where you can add indicators, you can scroll around, you can extend the amount of historical data, you can change the time frame, and you can do all your technical analysis here. And that's what you need to know. This is the only tech setup needed for ProRealTime. So we are already finished with step one. Now I will walk you through on how to import and start an algo, and let's talk a little bit on where you can find free algos. As mentioned, the one question that we're trying to answer when we are finding algos is, how has the algo that I'm looking at performed since it was released? And this is so pivotal that I'm going to actually grab this and put it in the corner here so that you can see it for the rest of this chapter. Let's imagine a timeline. Let's say that you found an algo that was released on January 1st, 2023. And if this was a 10-year period, that would be somewhere around here. The only thing that matters is how this algo has performed since it was released, in this example, January 2023, until today. So this is the only period that is of any significance. And you might ask what this period is. How could you even say anything about this period prior to the actual release date of the algo? Well, you can say something about it by running a simulation. Imagine a very simple algorithm that enters, let's say, NASDAQ every Monday morning and closes that position the next day, i.e. the Tuesday morning. How this algo would have performed historically is pretty easy to check. We just need to go back in history week per week and see how many of the trades were winning trades and how many of the trades were losing trades. This is what we call a backtest, but you need to be aware that a backtest can be misleading. It's very simple to filter out losing trades in hindsight by simply changing the conditions of the strategy so that you never even enter the losing trade. And that is why we can't trust a backtest if we don't know how and when the strategy was developed. So a backtest is a test of the back, which means that it's a simulation of the algo on history. When you start your search for free already made algorithms, you will see backtests that are indirectly or directly claimed as real results. But a backtest is never real, and backtests can easily be manipulated to show fantastic historic results. So again, the important question to answer here is, how has this algo performed since it was released, not before that? Do that in any way you can. Try to find algorithms with proven historic results. Best is probably to try to find true testimonials from people that have used the algo. This can be hard enough though. Even developers with crappy algorithms are going to try to sell their algorithms with testimonials. To make things easy for you and to get you started immediately, I'm going to share an algo with you freely. It works right out of the box for ProRealTime. I'm not going to force you into any trial or anything like that. Just click the link in the description of the video, add your email address, and I will send it to you for free.
This algo is solid, it's proven, it has amazing results. Trust me, trust my algos, trust it with your money. Trust, 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 trust.
I hope you catch that. Don't trust anyone telling you anything about the historic performance of their algo, even if it's free. You need to verify the results of the algo by yourself by looking at the release date and then looking at the results since that date. You need to do this in any way you can. With the algo that I'm sharing freely, you can see a date on the post of the algo, which was in June 2022. And again, don't start any algo that hasn't performed since it was released. As a safety measure, always start your algos in demo for a substantial amount of time, and that is what I'm going to show you now. Let me show you how to evaluate the results of the algo, and if the algo has performed well since it was released, I will show you how to start the algo in demo. So start up ProRealTime on your demo account, open the chart of the instrument you wish to trade. So this strategy was built for SP500 and the instrument name is USA 500. Select the right time frame. This algo runs on the daily time frame. Click on indicators, click on system and backtesting. Here you will find all your algorithms, both the ones that you have built yourself as well as imported ones. To import an algo, click import and then you choose the relevant file, and I will import the free trading strategy that I shared with you. The algo is now imported. Here's the code. I will go through later how the algo actually works and how it trades. So what we want to do now is to see the live results of this algo, and to do that we run a backtest from the date of the release until today. And you do that by clicking modify here, setting the start date of the backtest, and I'm setting June 21st, 2022 here. And please make sure that you have a spread here that is equivalent to the spread of the index that you are running the backtest on. The spread is the transaction fee charged by your broker. I will add spread 1 here, which is approximately the average spread of the SP 500 index. And now I will run a backtest by clicking the Pro Backtest My System button. Okay, so the backtest is complete, and this backtest report presents you with the results of the strategy for the defined period. So this is a completed backtest, which I have warned you about. But as I'm only running this backtest on the period since it was released, I can be sure of the results. If you have defined the start date correctly, if you have defined the spread correctly and the other transaction fees, then these results will be representative of how this algo actually performed during this period. Because it's no way that the code has been meddled with since then. Okay, so the results show that this algorithm has performed quite well since it was released in June 2022, which means that we can start the system in demo. So again, go into the code, but instead of clicking the Pro Backtest My System, you click the Prepare for Automatic Trading button. That will open up the Pro Order Auto Trading window, which is listing all started and all paused algos. So select the algo that you just prepared and click Start. Then you set the same position size here in this field as the position size in the code. And then again, you click Start. The algo is now running on the cloud and it will trade for you automatically. So this means that you can now shut down your computer. But before you do that, we have 9 more algos to start. So where can we find more algos? Well, I've actually got a lot of free algos on our website. So if you go to prorealtalgos.com/blog and sign up, it's free. There are around 30 more algos there. So each post provides details about the strategy, its purpose, applicable market, and performance metrics. And most importantly, you can see this release date here. So what you need to do once you have found an algo of interest is to download the code, import it into your ProRealTime, and again, evaluate the results since this release date. If the results have been good, you still need to run the algo in demo for a substantial amount of time before considering live deployment. I can also highly recommend you to go to another website that we have no connection with. It's called ProRealCode.com, where you can find a lot of free algos. You can find them by navigating to the library here, and then you click Strategies, and here you can find the various algos. Again, please note the release date. So I'm going to fast forward the part where I'm starting the 9 remaining algos. I will use both algos of my own as well as algos that I find on ProRealCode.com. There we go. I have now started 10 different algos with demo money, and they will now run for at least 6 months. And if they show good results, that's when I will deploy them live. So now that you have gained some experience on how to start algos in ProRealTime, it's time for the next step, which is to start coding your own algos. Don't worry if you are new to programming. The ProRealTime Pro Builder language is made for beginners. So let's dive into the process of creating a simple trading algo. As always, I will try to break out these steps into pieces so that they don't feel overwhelming. And that's why we will actually start by adding on to an already existing strategy instead of building a new one from scratch. We will do that too, but let's start simple. So let's make some adjustments to the free strategy that I already shared with you. Again, let's open up a SP500 chart, which this strategy is running on. Make sure it's the correct time frame. For this strategy, it's the daily time frame. Let's open up the code. We do that by clicking the indicators button. We find the strategy in the list, and then we click modify. So here's the code of the strategy. Let's first run another backtest of these strategies so that we can compare the backtest results before our adjustments and after our adjustments. So the backtest is finished. Okay, so let's take a look at the code. The strategy looks for consistently falling MACD values over 5 days. It makes sure that the today's MACD value is below 0 and that the close of today is weaker than yesterday. And it also makes sure that the close is near the low of the trading range. If all of that lines up at the same time, it enters a long position. The exit code is very simple. If the close breaks above the previous day's high, then the strategy closes the trade. So let's see if we can improve the strategy by adding another condition. The programming language is very simple. You can either just learn by doing and using the documentation on ProRealCode.com, or you can actually take help from ChatGPT. So I've done a few webinars on using ChatGPT to code algorithms, and you can find them in our YouTube channel. Let's do something simple like prohibiting the strategy from entering a trade on a specific day of the week. And we can simply do that by adding this condition. Day of week cannot be equal to 5, which means that we prohibit the strategy from entering trades on Fridays. So 5 means Friday, 4 means Thursday, 3 means Wednesday, and so on. So let's do another backtest. The backtest is finished. So here's the backtest with this extra condition. Let's compare it with the backtest that we made before adding this condition. So as you can see here, we have a higher gain, we have a higher win rate, and we have better drawdowns, etc. Okay, so now we have added a simple filter. We have improved the backtest, which means that we have now modified our first algo. Next step is to build a new algo from scratch. And instead of clicking modify, we are going to click new here. This will open up the ProBuilder editor with some template conditions built in. So let's remove all of that and let's write some simple code. Let's create a basic moving average crossover strategy. This is a common strategy for many new traders, and let's make it on the 4-hour time frame, and let's just run it on the last 4,000 units. So if a short moving average crosses over a long moving average, then we enter a long position, and we exit the trade when the short moving average crosses under the long moving average again. So this is the most simple of algos. So let's do some coding. Let's first define the moving average variables. We will call the first one short MA and define it as an average of 50. So this means that we use a 50-period moving average. And then let's define the long moving average variable. Let's call it long MA and define it as an average of 80. So what we want the algorithm to do is to enter the long trade when the short MA crosses over the long MA, and that can be done with this if statement, buy one contract at market. So this is all we need for the algorithm to enter a long trade. Now we just want to write the code that exits the trade when the short moving average crosses under the long moving average again. And that is very simple. We can simply just copy this code and change crosses over to crosses under. And then instead of buy, we just write sell at market. And the algo is now done. Let's make a backtest. Okay, so it looks all right. We can add more conditions, we can add more features, more filters, but I'm not going to do that now. I have a lot of videos diving into details on how to code strategies in ProRealTime, so just go to our YouTube channel and check that out. You will find a lot of material where I'm diving deeper into coding. But now we're all done. Okay, so we have done all these steps. Now it's up to you to keep going and to keep learning. Remember that successful algo trading comes from a lot of testing and from continuous learning. Keep experimenting, stay curious, and happy coding. And by the way, if you have a trading idea, send it in the comment below. I read and I answer all comments.